So it's 6 a.m., very early. I keep waking up so early, 4:30 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and I could definitely use more rest. It's interesting because, there's this whole idea with not doing negative thoughts about others. And when I rewatched my film, there were a lot of painful moments that I had lived through. And I was like, rewatching it again brought some of those up again. And I noticed that I quickly started having my mind filled with different negative thoughts. It's almost like not only do you not have negative thoughts about others to say them to people, but you also kind of need to refocus and remember who you are. Probably that's why meditation is so valuable in different practices to sort of bring you back to a clean slate before you begin again. I also know a lot of people, some people don't like meditation because it's really painful and sitting and all of that. My dad always says, "My this walking is my meditation." I think that works too. I think whatever it is that sort of grounds you and brings you back to yourself is a good way to sort of keep the mind in a place where it's able to see possibility. When I brought up this idea of cleaning piece three, the poem, to some of my filmmaking students, and I said, "What would you do?" They had no idea that I was doing this, and many of them don't know, you know, because we're not on social media together, or they're not looking for these things. They're busy with their own lives. And one of the students said, "Oh, I would take it one way, and not say negative things about others, and then I would take it the other way." I was like, "Oh, that's fascinating," you know. But I think, at least for me, what I'm recognizing is there isn't much control, in the sense that negative or positive thoughts, they're both going to come, and at least if we don't say them to others, or say them about others, maybe you want to critically say something to someone and you need to bring it up. I don't feel well, or whatever it is. But when you're not just sort of polluting the air, and giving it time for reflection, that gives you the space, right? But they're gonna keep happening no matter what. And sometimes those negative things, at least when you start putting them out into the world, and you're constantly registering on that frequency without keeping it in check, ultimately you start thinking about yourself, you know? And that sort of gaze comes back on you. So, what I'm recognizing is this practice also makes you able to recognize when you're doing it to you. And so it's like when I was rewatching the film and then the other night feeling a bit lonely, it was like me going into a negativity about myself for whatever was clouding me at the moment. And so that experience of having a sense of sadness or loneliness wasn't necessarily welcoming whatever I was feeling. It was more pushing it away and saying. But could it be that, like, a feeling is just a feeling? An emotion is just an emotion? So that when you're feeling loneliness, or you're feeling sadness, or you're feeling anger, or you're feeling happiness, or you're feeling joy, maybe it's just a feeling to be experienced. And it's not necessarily something that you need to investigate and excavate and understand, but actually be in the moment with whatever that is. And then it passes. But maybe when we say negative things about others, it puts us in the practice of identifying, potentially judging, and laying blame on the situation, where it goes outside of yourself, and then it takes away agency or responsibility for what you might have had in the situation, or that it's simply out of your control. Those are my thoughts today on day 23, Michael Jordan. See what happens tomorrow.